Hello, my name is Sterling Smitty with InspectionSoftware.com LLC. I'd like to show you today how to move files back and forth to and from the iPad. The first thing I want you to notice is that you must be exited out of the out of the software on the iPad as well as the computer before you transfer files back and forth. So the first thing I do is make sure I have exited out, because you don't want it to be in the background. Normally at this point I would like to make an automatic backup just because I'm moving files around and I sure don't want to lose anything. So I'm going to say yes, automatic, and that just takes a couple seconds, and that could save you a lot of time by just doing that, especially if you just worked harder than 3 inspections that day. And there we go. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to plug my iPad into the computer with a little USB charging cable. Now we are on the iPad, and this is through iTunes. You can download that iTunes at apple.com. So I clicked on the iPad app up there. Now I'm going to click on apps. I'm going to scroll all the way down to the bottom. Click on the FileMaker icon. If you're going to update files, you would normally just grab 3 files. If this is the first time, I'm going to delete all these files here so that you can get an idea of what it's like just to load the whole thing. So I'll delete all these. I hit the delete key on the keyboard and it says yes. Oh, by the way, when you first install this, there might be 4 files in there. You can delete those as well. Now I'm going to add files to the iPad. I go over to where my software is, and it's on drive C. Identify and report folder up here at the top. If not, I'll go ahead and I'll select it. So then I come down and I want all the files that ends with the runtime, FileMaker Pro runtime. So we'll come and we'll get all these here. We don't need our backup files. That's what these are. We don't need 1, 2, and 3. But all these other ones, the first time we're going to bring them all across. So you can see now here they come across to the iPad. So the first time we bring all the files, and if you would like to bring over the manuals and stuff like that, we'll go over, and the first time around, let's just grab the PDF files too. See the PDFs? I'm going to hold down the shift key, and I'm going to grab all the PDFs, and I'm going to bring those over. That way we have all our manuals there too. So from here on out on the iPad, if you want to get onto the program, what you do is you click on the file called Auto Open iPad Identify and Report. That is actually a shortcut that comes down here to the main files, and the 3 main files are the inspection control file, the narrative photos file, the narrative file, and the inspection control file, which is right there. So these are our 3 main files that we bring back and forth constantly from the computer to the iPad, etc. Never click sync, never do that. So that's now we have just moved everything from the computer to the iPad. So now let's go over, and if we want to, we can take these files and we can copy them back to the computer. I'll just highlight them, and let's say pretend we did our inspection. And we can say save to computer, and we're going to go back through that again. But for now, let's just say done. So we just moved everything from the computer to the iPad. So now let's go ahead and we're going to move everything back from the iPad to the computer. First thing we want to do, make sure the program is closed and not just minimized in the background, because we can hit this minus sign and just minimize it. Exit out of the software. We're not going to make a backup this time because this is for demonstration only. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to plug in my iPad to the computer. If I can, there it is. Just take a second here. Oh, come on. There it comes. Sorry. Okay, so now here's the iPad. I want to move files from the iPad to the computer. So I click Apps. Go all the way down to the bottom, click my FileMaker Go. My three main files are the narrative, I'm holding down the control key, inspection photos, and the inspection control. We don't need any of these files here. If you made some changes in your comments, this is where the comments live. This is where it looks up all your comments. So if you made changes, it would have today's file on today's date on there. So you could bring that over if you want. So let's just bring it over because maybe we made changes on the iPad. So I'll go Save To. I'm not clicking Add to the iPad. I'm clicking Save to Computer. It's already selected the folder because it remembers where we were last. And I'll say Select, and it says these files already exist. And I'll say Replace all of them. And you can see now we're copying from the iPad to the computer. So it's Save to Computer, Add to the iPad. Remember that. This is another way of doing it. Let's say that we have already got these files. We've already, well here, let me show you this other method. Same thing, make sure the program is closed. Okay, this time we're going to plug in the iPad. Click on the iPad. Click on Applications. Some people really like this method because it's called drag and drop. So now what we do is we go over to FileMaker Go. We're going to go over to where our program is, to my computer. It's on drive C. It's Identify and Report. Now we're just going to go ahead and grab the files. And here they are. Here's the inspection control file, narrative file, narrative photos. And I'll just drag them over. And see, you can get that little plus sign. I'll show you. And they're coming over. I'll make it a little easier next time so you can see it. Oh, it says replace. It was in the background. Replace all. So see, we'll do that again. This time I'm going to make it smaller so we can actually see what's happening. Here's my three files. This is drag and drop. It's easy not to get confused this way. Because there's our three files. You can bring over one at a time. We just drag them over. And it says replace them. We go yes. And it replaces them over here to the iPad. And you can see that. We go do our inspection. We come back. Everything is done. The same three files. Inspection control. Now I'm going to hold down the Shift key, the narrative photos, look up if you made changes, and drag them back. It says yes, do this to everything. Copy and replace it. I like the drag and drop method. You can make your choice. Anyways, my name is Sterling Smitty with InspectionSoftware.com. Please give us a call if you have any questions. Good day.